am Michael Santos with Prison Professors, and today I'm going to be giving you some training that I received on YouTube. And so this entire program is really going to be talking about how do you create a YouTube channel and how do you use it to build your business or to advance your career or to perhaps help your employer advance their career. The more you know about this, the higher level of skill you are going to have. So what you see on my screen right now is a tool that I will be making a part of this course. This is called Screenflow. And what you see on there are, you see the woman, she's on my left-hand side. Her name is Ro Clausen. You see me on my right-hand side. And you see this background here on the screen itself. What these are down here are layers. This layer right here you see is Prison Professors. That's my logo right there. This one, the one to the right, is White Collar Advice, another one of our companies where we help people preparing for sentencing or prison. Another logo is Resilient Courses, where I have digital content. And then you have my podcast logo. And all of that is for branding purposes. So I want you to be aware of what I am doing and how I do it. And what I did is I interviewed this woman, Ro Clausen, who has a very successful YouTube channel. And I reached out to her and asked her if she would train me so that not only could I learn, but I could teach people in jail and prison how to learn. While I was incarcerated, I didn't have access to the internet, obviously, just like none of the people in our classes would have access to the internet. But for me, it was even a little bit more difficult because I went into the prison system in 1987 and I didn't get out until 2013. So I had never experienced the internet. And I had to learn all of that when I got out. But one thing I know is that had I had some exposure to how the system works, it would have really accelerated my ability to bring value to other people and build my own business. So anticipating, as I always do, that if you are in jail or in prison, you need to be thinking today about what can I do to prepare for the journey ahead. So to put this in the context of our 10-part execution cycle, where we talk about defining success, we talk about clear goals, we talk about the importance of having the right attitude, about having an aspiration of understanding what we're going to see, of taking incremental action steps, of holding ourselves accountable, of being aware of opportunities, of being authentic, of celebrating achievements, and 10, of building this level that shows our gratitude for the blessings that come our way. I'm creating this content in that context. I am striving to give you one definition of success with this course, and that is, will you know a little bit more about how to build a YouTube channel? So we're going to divide this into several different parts. I retained Ro for 4 hours of training, and I paid her for her time. And then I told her, I'm not only going to take your training, but I'm going to really compartmentalize it and help other people learn. So what you're going to hear in this first clip is really just me giving an introduction to Ro. And so you can skip this if you want to, or you can learn a little bit about why she got started and what she has done. And you'll kind of see how I start. And all of this process is part of me sowing seeds and bringing, building her up, because that's something that's important to me. It's how I show gratitude, and I give her business guidance along the way, and you'll kind of hear that. But this is really for you, for people in jails and prisons. If you don't know how to use YouTube or open a YouTube channel, and even though you don't have access to the internet, this is going to give you some exposure. You're going to see how I use it, and you're also going to see a case study of how I use this to build my business. And in the written documentation that is part of this course, you will be able to take this with you, and I hope use it in your life as well. So this is the introductory section, and then so I'm just going to pause here. If you want to watch that, it's fine. It's only about 4 minutes. If not, we will create more content later. You can skip ahead to some of the later content, and I'll always start with this preamble about what you're going to learn. Thank you. The follow-up to my previous thing, I wanted to point out something to you on this Screenflow section. as you can see on my screen, and I'm only recording the screen right now, I'm not recording me. I'm using a Mac computer, and I thought this would be helpful for you. You can see that I have an image there of me on the screen, and you can see where I'm positioned, right? So I thought it would be helpful for you to see how I manipulate this. Notice this green screen behind me. With that green screen, the purpose of that green screen is that I can make myself transparent. There's a filter in this program and in all video editing software that will allow me to move things out that are a different color. So I have an ability to do that, and I just thought, well, maybe I should show you. And the reason that I want to do that is because I noticed, God, I put the green screen in the wrong positioning, right? This is my kitchen back here, and the green screen should have been a little bit more to my right. But since it's not, I said, well, let me show the guys how I do that. So you can see up here, this is the Screenflow program, and this is the one that I use to edit video. In the video previously, you saw me talk a little bit about layers. This is another layer right here, what you're seeing. So I am going to manipulate that layer. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to click on these different icons. One layer here shows the assets. These are the different assets. So remember that. These are digital assets. I have different tools that I could use. This is a text tool. This is a tool that creates shapes. This is a tool that does call outs. So if I want to say something or other. This is a tool that provides for video motion. This is a tool that allows me to manipulate audio. And this is a tool that allows me to manipulate the film. So let's just show you what a tool would look like to insert some text. So you see if I clicked that tool and hit plus, something just popped up right here, and I'm going to add that right now. I'm going to add that by saying this is the green screen I was talking about. Okay? And when I clicked that, it somehow removed the section that I wanted to show. So I'm going to show you what I have to do now. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now I can manipulate this, of course. I can take that text file, and you see right here that's highlighted yellow, and I can drag it out. That just allows me to manipulate this new layer right here. What I have to do, though, is I have to go back over here and add another layer because this layer is in the wrong place. So now I can take this layer, move it out. I'm going to delete it, right? And now I'm going to take that text file that I put, and I'm going to bring it back over there. And now that layer is showing you, oh, this is the layer I was talking about, the green screen. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to maneuver it over here, and you can see how I'm maneuvering this around the screen, right? I can also do other things with this text box that I'm showing you right here, right? If I click on it, and then I click on the backdrop button right here, a drop-down menu shows up. I can click on this thing right there, and a color box comes. I want to change the color of that. Let's say I want to change the color of that background. I can grab this little highlighter button right there, and let's say that I want to make it the color of this right there, the background, and you see how I've just done that. I've just changed the color. So I say okay. Okay? Now, that's the text box, but now what I want to go back to is this green screen, okay, that I put in the wrong place. So I'm going to go click on that layer, which is right there, and now I can manipulate it. So how do I manipulate it? Well, I've got to turn on to this particular icon up here. This icon up here allows me to now crop it. So I want to crop it so that I can only use the green screen. And the way I crop it is I click here and I say, okay, that's the full size of the picture. I want to crop it there. I want to crop the right side, see, this only goes to 400, but I want to crop it more than 400. I want to crop it to, say, 800. Yeah, 800. But you see, I'm positioned wrong. Had I been positioned a little bit in the center, it would have looked better. But that's okay for the purposes of what I am going to show you. I am going to move this box to wherever I want it on the screen. And I want to move it, say, over here. Okay, so now there's nothing behind there, so there's nothing for you to see there anyway, so I'm going to move it there. But more importantly, what I wanted to show you is how do I extract the green from being behind me. So I've got like a transparent image behind me. This is very important for photo editing or for film editing. So I take this here, a video filter, And when I hit it, I hit plus. And there's a Chrome key, because this is called a chromatic key, right? This is going to be in your notes, the chromatic key. By hitting and adding the chromatic key, you're going to see that it starts manipulating the image. Now I click on the screen and say, well, what's the part that I want to remove? I want to remove the green screen. And now you see, just by clicking that, I've removed the green from being behind me, and now I am just a transparent image moving around. You see, and I can move myself anywhere on this image that I want. That's a very powerful tool. If you could do this, you can bring more value to your employer. So I know that you really don't know how to do it because you're sitting in there and you're not really doing it, but I wanted you to see what's possible. And so that's what I was showing you. So I can move that over here. Now I can stop it, and now you can see how I did it and what I did. Sometimes through this video, you'll see the green screen behind me. Sometimes you won't, because the purpose of this video is really to teach you how to use this tool. And that's what I wanted you to see about this Screenflow editing software. This is really simple editing software, and yet it's incredibly powerful. So, but it's hard to learn when you've never seen it. Now that you're seeing me work through it, you're going to see how I use this in creating YouTube videos as well. So now I'm going to pause and let Ro go to her teaching. This is the first lesson of this course on developing YouTubes. And I hope you got some value out of that. Now you can listen to Ro teach me a little bit about how she got started in this and why it's important to her. And I think that might be interesting to you. I also provide her contact information up there in case any of you want to get advanced training. She is a great resource. Thank you. I'm super excited to have this opportunity to listen and learn from Ro Clausen, who is a woman that I've just got tremendous respect for. And I think that those in our audience will as well, because she is just the epitome of being resilient and creating something that benefits people that are, many more people than her own life. To give you some background, she's married to kind of a celebrity person in prison. He's serving like just a terribly long sentence. His name is Adam Clausen. How long is he doing, Ro? How long is your husband serving?
213 years.
213. And yet again, in another type of case where there is, no identifiable victim and nobody got hurt. And, I don't know all of the background. I just know that she is an enormously supportive wife, not only for her husband, but also for tens of thousands, literally, of other women who love their man in prison. And she's launched this community called the Strong Prison Wives and Families that my wife and I are big supporters of, super impressed with the work that they do to just help people know that your loved one may be in prison, but that doesn't make you less of a human being, and you could still live a life of meaning and relevance and have love. And so she's done it. But I asked her, in fact, I retained her, and I never ask anybody to do anything I'm not doing. If you want to learn, I encourage you to pay her like I'm going to do to teach me what she has done, because she's created an amazing community with more than 12,000 people just on YouTube, in addition to a Facebook page that has how many people, Ro?
I think 20 or 30,000.
20 or 30. She can throw these kind of numbers out, like, 20,000, 30,000. It's just amazing that she's just a woman that's supporting her husband, but building a community. And if we can learn that, we've really created some value. And I've asked her if she would share some of her wisdom with us and with this group. And so I'm going to bring this into jails and prisons across America. And we are going to have the privilege of learning from Ro Clausen.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. I'm so excited to do this with you and for you. I created a little presentation together. Stop me and ask any questions. Also, I know you have a YouTube channel that you've already established, but I also knew that you were doing this for bringing it into jails and prisons. So thinking back to how long you served and how long my husband has been in over 20 years, there was no touch screen, anything. There was absolutely no YouTube or Facebook or Google. Was so different back then. So I made it really basic in the beginning. So it might be a little bit basic for you, but just in case people have been in for a really long time and they're getting out, we'll go through the beginning, not really in too much in depth because a lot of it is just kind of plug and play, but just so people have that knowledge. And then we'll move forward for stuff for you, for research and all that stuff.
So just if I raise my hand, it's because you're breaking up some, just so you know, because I know you can't tell on your end.
Okay.
You're where? New York City? New York?
New Jersey, right outside of New York. Yep.
So she's in New Jersey. I'm in Orange County, California. So we're thousands of miles away, and sometimes the internet gets a little slow out here. So if there's a breakup, I will raise my hand. She'll notice that, and then I'll ask her. We'll go over it again. So do you want to share your screen with me, or should I share my screen with you? Or you're the coach and the leader, so I'm just going to follow your lead.
Yeah, I'll share my screen with you. And just in case you raise your hand and I can't see you because my screen is up, I don't know how that works. Feel free to interrupt me.
Or I'll interrupt you, or I will. I think I can send you a message through this messenger on the right side. Do you see that?
Okay, I do. Yep.
Or I can do it to your cell phone. So keep your cell phone there. So in case something happens that you'll see, I'll text your cell phone. Okay, I am watching and learning.
Okay, I'll take it off. Okay, awesome. I just want to take it off Do Not Disturb. I had it on like that just so we didn't get interrupted. But
okay.
Okay, let me share the screen.
Concludes the first lesson. And one of the things that you'll notice if you have access to download from the sidebar is you will see that I will have included these questions here. And as I was watching the video, I recorded just some thoughts that I thought you should know. And one of them is, what are the platforms that I am using? So I'm going to ask some questions here. What is Screenflow, right? And these are questions that I will answer before the next video, but I'd like you to be thinking about them. So in fact, I could just highlight all of these and convert that into numbers. And so there are 13 questions, and you can kind of look at these questions. What is Screenflow? What are digital, I might put question marks. What are digital assets? What is a green screen? Okay, these are things that we covered in this video. What purpose does a chromatic key serve? In what ways do layers contribute to video editing? How do I add text to a video? I'm going to add another one there. How do I maneuver one layer to different areas of the screen? How do I add text to a video? How does a video help my career or business? What other tools should I know about to create a video? Give examples of 2 tools. How is Ro using video to build a community? How is she using a community for self-advocacy? What is my YouTube channel? What is screen share? So think about these questions. Figure out if you can answer them. Before I start the next video's training, I am going to respond to each of those questions, but I thought it might be helpful for you to just think if you were able to pick this information up during this first introductory video. And I'm now ready to turn to the next video. So you can see how I'm using Screenflow effectively to kind of teach. And I don't always have to be on the screen. Like right now, I'm not on the screen. I'm just using a voice. And I want you to think about how these tools can help you advance your career when you come home. These are tools that will accelerate your earning capacity just as they have accelerated mine. And I will explain that as we work through this video. So in fact, I'm going to add that again. In what ways can developing video editing skills accelerate your career? Okay. So those are your questions. There's 15 questions there. Thank you.